So hey guys, welcome to today's episode. So we are going to be grooming Lulu today. So we will need ball to distract her, or basically for her to play with when we're trying to brush her hair. So this actually works quite handy. So let's give her, and so she can go and play. The next tool we're gonna need is her nail clipper, which is a special nail clipper. Don't just buy any nail clipper out there. Um, and the last tool of the day we're gonna be looking for today is her brush. So if you know about German Shepherds, they do have two coats. Ours is actually the Plush-Coat. So she's still got that little bit of a long coat and a short coat. So this brush here goes for the targets the inner coat, which we have a lot of that right now. Just basically we just coming off winter, so they grow that coat to regulate their hair. To regulate their heat. So yeah, you do get a lot of dogs getting that. A lot of hair being lost when you're coming from seasons to another season, and particularly when you're coming from a colder season to a warmer season. So she's gonna be having a lot of that hair today. So that's why that particular brush is very important for this particular activity. And yeah, welcome and enjoy as we proceed. So I'm just trying to set up the scenery here. You can see her there, happy as Larry. Just doing her little thing out there. So I don't know what she was backing at, but yeah, she does that a lot, and she's just a dog at the end of the day, and she loves it. So I'm getting myself a chair ready there, and I'll get her to come there. She's got a ball in her mouth. That's the only reason I'm gonna be able to get in there and be able to brush her hair. She's gonna have a lot of loose hair at this time of the year. Again, that goes to the reason that we're coming from a colder season to a warmer season, and that is actually going to be increasing as we go to towards I think currently we are in coming off winter to spring and then summer. So as you can see, it's actually getting warmer and warmer and warmer. So we are going to expect a lot of these hair loss, and that's why we at this time of the year usually I will end up trying to aim to brush her at least once every second day. Well, not there yet, but at this stage maybe once a week is okay, because again, if you brush her too much on their coats, they end up getting quite irritated and then don't like it, and they're gonna end up snapping on you, which you don't want. So what you can see happening there, she's coming to me. I'm asking her to stay in whatever direction I need, and I'll be brushing her hair. Again, I want to apologize for this video because I think I shot it too far and you couldn't really capture what I'm doing there. But I think at the end of the day, I'll show you the result, which was quite good actually. So yeah, try to get at the back. So again, when you're brushing her hair, you want to follow her natural curves on the hair. So don't go opposite to the way the hair is lying, because that's end up irritating their skins, and again you will actually be able to get the inner coat. So again, there is a few different type of brushes you would use. For me at this particular stage, because I know we're coming from winter to summer, so I'm really targeting the inner coat. So that's why I'm using this brush. When I'll be doing her hair on the hotter times of the year, I'll show you the other brush I use, which has two sides, so it targets the inner coat and the outside coat. And yeah, so we get her. She's coming to check out the camera there. It's quite new, so she's quite aware of her space, which is really good. I mean, like any other German Shepherd there, they're actually very intelligent, and they do like to check out what's happening within their environment, which is what you want for your dog. You don't want a dog which is not aware of the environment of what's happening. So there we go. Right now I'm brushing her underbelly. Again, when you're doing her underbelly, you got to be very careful. It's a she, and usually she'll get those nipples, so you don't want to scratch those ones with those kind of brushes. So you want to do in and around them. I guess maybe next time I'll try get somebody to come closer and video closer as I do this, so I can help you out there who's actually, looking of ways to actually brush your hair. I've got a lot of people back at home who ask me, how do you groom your dog? So I'm trying to just give you some information on this video. Hopefully it can help you out. So actually the aim of the day today is actually groom her. So we're going to be brushing her hair, clipping her nails. I'm going to be checking her ears. I'm going to be checking in between her paws. Sometimes you get things stuck in between the paws. Going to be checking her dental health. I'm going to be, running my hands all around her body and just check just her general health and just see how she's doing. So, which is what you want to be doing if you have a dog and, and you want to make sure that that dog is in its best health. So you want to be, conducting some of these checks every now and then. It's basically like the way you would wake up in the morning, you stretch, put some lotion on yourself, groom yourself as well, I guess. So this is basically what's happening here. So at this stage here, she's still really enjoying the grooming. Comes back, lays down there. Again, I'll also be brushing the legs as well. Some people also forget to actually groom the tail, which I don't blame them, because if you haven't taught your dog how to handle her when she's younger, you're not going to be able to touch the tail. That's one of the common reasons why a lot of people get beaten when they are handling their dogs and trying to touch the tails, and they didn't do that when the dog was a puppy. So actually it's quite recommended that when you get a puppy in your home, you want to basically handle her. So you want to sometimes rough hold her, sometimes soft hold her, and particularly if you got young children around you, because they will not always be careful around your dog. Sometimes your daughter or your son will come and maybe just step on the tail of the dog, or grab the skin or pinch the dog, and you want your dog to be able to handle some of these sort of pressure. So you want to, I'm not telling you to go and hurt your dogs, but you want to introduce some element of rough handling to your dogs when they're still young. So in that sense, they get quite tolerant when they grow older. And in that sense, you can imagine having a German Shepherd. So Lulu here is a Czech working bloodline, so which is for a female, she's actually quite heavy, which you would expect because of her genes. So she's about 37 kilos. That's a really heavy dog. You can imagine that sort of a dog snapping on your, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, or even as an adult. So you really, really want to teach them rough handling and show them you're doing it not because you're hitting them, but you are actually loving them and you're trying to make them acclimatize to that sort of environment, because when you're living with young children, you want to make sure that dog is used to some of these things which can happen during your day-to-day sort of life. But I'm expecting you as a adult, responsible adult, you're not going to be running over your dog on the tail. But I mean, when we are training, sometimes I have stepped on her toes sometimes, and she winched a little bit. And if she was not rough-handed when she was young, she probably would have beaten me also. But I'm always quite careful anyway. But all I'm just trying to tell you, you just need to just give her that, so she's used to that. So yeah, here we're continuing. I think we're just about done at this stage here, because she keep on going. You can see my little bag there that I'm stashing with all the hair, with all the loose hair that she's giving me, and she's quite happy. So at this stage now, we're pretty much done with the hair brushing, and now we are on to the nail clippings. So when you're clipping your dog nails, there's a lot of ways to do it. Again, let me tell you, she does not like her paws handled, but I've tried to actually, get her used to me handling her tail, her nails, because I do clip her nails quite often. And you can see here, we did have some really good chunks of the nails coming off. Again, when I talked about a special nail clipper for the dog, I've got this one here, which I don't know sorry, this is a bad video here, but if you could see this, there you have that stopper on the end where you put in the dog nail through, but it's stopped on the other side so it doesn't go all through, which means it prevents you from cutting too much on that nail to a point that the dog can start bleeding and then, again, snapping and maybe possibly biting you. So that's the kind of a nail clipper you want, which has that stopper on the other side. So again, getting the tools right is very important in this job. And your dog will be as happy as Larry again, as I said. So here we go back to the other side. So earlier on I did on some on the other side. So I'll go through all toes, all nails, and just make sure I've clipped all of them. With what I find with a lot of times when I'm clipping my dog's nail, I find that the front legs is where I actually need to clip my dog a lot. Most time with the back legs, because when the dog is running, and sometimes if you're walking your dog on the concrete paths and stuff like that, so if they are running and they come to you and brakes to stop to you, or brakes when they're going to somewhere, so that effect by itself wears the back nails a lot of the time. So you don't need to clip the back nails as much as you would usually do for the front nails. And one of that nail that usually hangs on the side, I'll try to see whether I can get a close video for you next time. But yeah, again, on the back, I'm just checking on the back, and again at this stage I check whether all the joints are okay. Again, it's a German Shepherd. You want to keep on checking how she's doing with her back, legs and stuff like that. A lot of German shepherds actually are prone to hip dysphagia, but that is not as bad with this sort of working line, because they know the shoreline. And then after the work, we do a little bit of a play there, and she enjoys that. And that's usually the climax of us doing this. So she loves that. Again, I can get the ball thrown to her. She's gonna be happy, and voila, we are done. So thank you so much for watching this video. And I haven't forgotten, I'm gonna show you what kind of a hair I got out of her this time. You will not believe it until you see it. So yeah, look at this. Again, bit of a play there, and there we go. So wow, look at that. Look at that. So yeah, it was quite a successful day. And yeah, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to at least 100 subscribers by the end of this year. I know I haven't posted a lot, but I've always given advice to people when they ask me about looking after dogs and training dogs, particularly to those people back at home. I've trained a couple of dogs for my friends back there, but I'm trying to formalize this, so we'll be doing a lot of these things. So please subscribe, share to your friends if you found some of this information helpful, and I'll be aiming to do better videos in the future. Yeah, bye bye.